You arrive in Japan at the same time as some streamer is causing chaos. On the first day, you made the smallest mistake of your life. It's nothing, really. A red light at a crosswalk, no cars for 100 meters. You step forward without thinking, half looking at your phone, half enjoying the cold mountain air. A whistle cuts the silence. Not loud, not aggressive, just sharp enough to make your spine straighten. A police officer is behind you. Perfect uniform, perfect posture. He bows first, because even authority here comes wrapped in politeness. He speaks calmly. He explains the rule. He asks for your passport. You laugh. You apologize. You're already rehearsing the story you'll tell later. In Japan, they're strict, even about crossing the road. He studies your passport longer than he needs to. Where are you staying? How long have you been here? What's your job? Who are you meeting? You answer lightly. Normal answers, truthful answers. Another officer arrives. They exchange a look that doesn't feel dramatic, just administrative, like your name has become a file. They ask you to come to the station for a few questions, just procedure. You agree, because you still believe innocence is a shield. You don't come to Japan expecting danger. At the station, they don't yell. They don't push you. They don't even act suspicious. They take your phone, your belt, your watch, your shoelaces. They place you in a small white room, fluorescent lights, a metal table bolted to the floor, 2 chairs. They tell you how to sit, back straight, hands on knees, feet placed properly. Questions begin. The crosswalk, your visa, bank card, recent purchases, why you came to Japan, what you plan to do next. You answer. They write. Silence fills every gap. An hour becomes 3. 3 becomes 6. Nobody says you're free to go. During interrogation, they ask if you've ever recorded yourself breaking rules, if you've ever mocked authority, if you've ever treated public order as entertainment. They don't accuse you directly. They just ask if you're that type. Interrogation becomes routine. Different faces, same questions, same calm tone that makes the cruelty feel invisible. They don't need to hit you. They just keep the lights bright, the chair hard, the hours long. When you hesitate, they lean forward. Why are you thinking? When you repeat an answer, they ask again with one word changed. So you did cross on red. So you do understand the rules. So you choose to ignore them. So what else do you ignore? You don't know how to defend yourself. If you refuse to answer, they change the rules. They tell you to stand. You stand for hours, legs trembling, back straight, eyes forward. If you shift weight, they correct you. If you ask to sit, they say you can sit after you cooperate. Someone insults you, not like a bully, but like a teacher disappointed in a stupid student. They shame you. They raise their voice. They bring it back down. They repeat. They repeat. They repeat. They place a metal tool on the table, a short punch-like instrument used for control, not explanation. They don't touch you with it. They don't need to. It's a message. This system has teeth. You heard that Japan's criminal justice system has 99% conviction rate, and now you know why. You start to feel the first crack in your certainty, not because you're guilty, because you're tired, because you haven't slept, because you're realizing the question isn't, did you do it? The question is, how long can you resist the version of reality we've decided? You are formally arrested. They take you to a cell that is cleaner than some hotel rooms. Inside, other inmates talk quietly about a foreigner who never learned to be quiet, who kept talking when told not to, who treated guards like an audience. When you arrive for the first time, before you are given work, before you are given a routine, they hand you a rule book. It's thin, clean, printed in simple language, and translated just well enough that you can't claim confusion later. A guard makes you sit straight while he explains that everything you need to survive is inside those pages. How to walk, how to sit, when to speak, when not to look up, how to fold your futon, where to place your sandals, how many centimeters your desk must be from the wall, which direction your body must face during inspections. The book doesn't threaten you. It just states them. Break a rule once and you are warned. Break it again and the book stops being paper and starts becoming time. Hours of standing, More than 1 to 60 days of sitting in a same position alone in cell. Before you fully understand the rules, guards tell you about other foreigner. People who came here treating the country like content. Loud voices in quiet spaces. Disrespecting culture. Being rude to the people. Laughing where everyone else lowers their head. It's unbearable in Japan. By the time you finish reading it, you realize the book isn't there to teach you how to behave. It's there to teach you how little of yourself you're allowed to keep. Inside, everything has a place. Your futon must be folded with exact angles. Your sandals must be lined outside the door like a ritual offering. Your desk faces one direction. Your cup sits in one corner. Your towel is rolled a certain way. The first morning, you're woken by guards shouting commands. Then classical music plays through the hall. It feels surreal, like the soundtrack to a life you no longer own. You have exactly 1 hour for the entire morning routine. Eat, brush teeth, shave, clean the toilet, clean the whole cell. All in the same sequence, all at the same time as everyone else, like a synchronized factory. A guard inspects your cell afterward. His eyes don't scan like a human's. They measure like a ruler. You are told about the class system. You start in the lowest class. 5th, behave, obey, be honest. 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Higher class means more privileges, more small freedoms, more dignity. You cling to that ladder because it's the only sense of progress you're offered. Bathing is timed, 15 minutes. You line up. 1 meter between each person. No talking, no turning. Just wash quickly, efficiently, and return. You learn silence is not just a rule here, it's a religion. The punishment for breaking rules isn't always violence, it's emptiness. You're sent to a punishment room and made to sit in the traditional Japanese position. Knees folded beneath you, back straight, alone for hours, sometimes days. No books, no writing, no entertainment, just your own thoughts chewing on you. People who come in loud don't leave loud, they leave empty. They call it reflection. You call it erosion. Then you're transferred. Nagano Prison, in the mountains. A place with around 900 male inmates. Some for minor crimes, some for murder. It looks modern, spotless. Every cell usually has more than 6 inmates.
That's the kind of prison that would confuse a Western because it doesn't look like suffering. But suffering doesn't always look dirty. It looks quiet. No direct talk to inmates. No questioning guards in front of prisoners. Everything is controlled, curated, measured. Inside, prisoners move in parades. Lines. Steps synchronized. Heads shaved. Eyes down. Uniforms identical. You join the parade. At 7:50 a.m., you march to work. It begins with a 3-minute warm-up. Even labor has choreography. Work is compulsory, but at least they pay you $30 per month. You make goods that will be sold outside. Shoes, carpentry, dry cleaning, furniture. Your hands become part of a production line that never needed your consent. Talking is forbidden. If you need to speak, you raise your hand. You wait. Permission is granted or denied. Even a sentence becomes a privilege. Guards watch constantly. Some walk backward so that they never turn their eyes away from the group. In your first week, you realize the meals aren't that bad. The food shows up on schedule, portioned with the same precision as everything else. As a foreign prisoner, you've choice about your diet, a rice-based diet, or a bread-based diet. Menus are designed around calorie and nutrient targets by qualified staff, including registered nutritionists. The base is often barley-mixed rice with simple sides like vegetables, soup, and a protein like fish or meat. Healthy enough that some inmates end up leaner and physically better than they were outside, even if they never feel truly full. After lunch, you're allowed a short break. You can read a newspaper, cut your nails, speak briefly, if permitted. The silence makes even a whispered sentence feel loud. Then back to work. 8 hours. Entertainment is allowed, but it's scheduled, limited, controlled. 40 minutes on weekdays. You can exercise, play ping pong, table tennis, board games, karaoke on a small television. Before entertainment, warm-ups again. Your body required to obey even while relaxing. After entertainment, security checks, counting, inspection, correction, From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., televisions turn on. Those 2 hours become sacred, a narrow window where the world feels almost normal, almost human. Then, lights out, silence returns, the machine resets. Foreigners struggle more than anyone because the rules aren't just written, they're cultural, invisible, internalized by people raised in them. The Japanese prison adapts with programs, physical training, life skills, to prepare people for re-entry into society that no longer feels real to them. You keep trying to rise in class, 5th to 4th, 4th to 3rd. You obey perfectly. You fold your futon like it's sacred. You line your sandals like your life depends on the angle. You speak only with permission, but the past doesn't wash off. The trial comes. The verdict arrives with the same calm tone as everything else. Guilty. Not because you're convinced they proved it, because the machine has decided what you are. Then they say the words you don't understand at first. Death sentence, hanging. You feel nothing for a full minute, like your body refuses to process it. Then it hits. Slow and heavy. You're moved to death row. Here, silence isn't a rule. It's the AIR. You learn how executions work. They don't tell you ahead of time. Sometimes they give 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. You're alone, solitary for years. No date, no countdown, no certainty. Every day is maybe today. You realize those who treat warnings like jokes don't realize the system is counting. Years pass. Your memory blurs. You forget faces. One morning, footsteps stop outside your door. A bow. A polite voice. It's time for hanging. You are guided down a hallway, the rope hanging neatly like another item placed in its correct position. Even death here has order. They place a hood over your head. Your heart pounds so hard it feels like it will tear through your ribs. The floor drops. The world snaps. And you open your eyes. You are in your bed, your room, your phone buzzing. Your hands are shaking. You touch your neck. No rope. No hood. No prison uniform. You sit up slowly, breathing like you've returned from underwater. It was all a dream. Was all a dream.